Hi, this is Drew with JDCDL, and I'm now going to show you the outside truck pre-trip inspection. We're going to start with our mirror brackets. Mirror bracket is properly secured to the truck door. No cracks, no damages. All bolts are tight and not missing. Our mirrors are not cracked or damaged. Then we want to check our outside of the door. Outside of the door should be no cracks, damages, or holes. We want to make sure that the door opens properly. Then we want to check our hinges inside the door. We want to make sure that our hinges are properly secured on both sides. They're not cracked or damaged, and all bolts are tight and not missing. Then we want to check our rubber seal. Our rubber seal should be properly secured all the way around, and it should not be cracked or damaged. Then we want to close our door, making sure that our door closes properly. Now we want to check our fuel tank. Fuel tank should be properly secured on both sides with the straps. No cracks or damages to our fuel tank, and no leaking anywhere around the fuel tank. We need to check our fuel tank cap. It should be properly secured, not cracked or damaged, and not leaking. Our steps should be properly mounted on both sides. No cracks or damages to our steps, and they should be clean. We should also make sure that our steps look like they can hold our weight. Now we're going to come underneath, and we're going to talk about our frame and our crosspiece. Our frame and our crosspiece are properly secured on both sides. They're not cracked or damaged. They're not bent. They're not illegally welded. And all my bolts or nuts are tight and not missing. We're then going to check our drive shaft. Drive shaft is properly secured on both sides. Not cracked, not damaged, and not bent. Then we're going to check our U-joints, which is at the bottom of the drive shaft. Underneath. We have U-joints. We're going to check our U-joints. They should be tight, greased, and there should be no trash or garbage stuck in between the U-joint. Now we're going to check our exhaust. Our exhaust should be properly, securely mounted and tight on both ends. There should be no cracks, no damages, no holes, and no major dents. We should have all of our clamps, and they should all be tight. There should be no soot or rust leaking from our exhaust. And now we're going to come down and we're going to do our drive axle, suspension, brakes, tires, and rims. So we're going to start with our springs. Springs are properly secured on both sides, not cracked, not damaged. None of our springs are missing, and none of our springs have shifted. Then we're going to check our U-bolts. Our U-bolts are properly secured on both sides. They're not cracked or damaged. And all my nuts are tight and not missing. Our torsion bar. Our torsion bar is properly secured on both sides. Not cracked, not damaged. Our torsion bar is not bent. And all of our bolts and nuts are tight and not missing. Our spring brackets on both sides. There's one on each side. Both sides are properly secured, not cracked or damaged. And all my bolts and nuts are tight and not missing. Now we'll come to our brake system. Our brake hose, properly secured both sides. No rips, tears, cuts, or leaks to any of our brake hoses. Our brake chamber is properly secured, not cracked or damaged. It's not leaking. We have our clamp, and our clamp is tight. Then we'll come back around the back tire. So we can see our slack adjuster and our push rod. Slack adjuster and push rod. Properly secured, not cracked or damaged, not missing any parts, and it cannot move more than 1 inch when the brakes are released. And then we're going to check our brake pads and drums. Brake pads and drums are properly secured, not cracked or damaged. There is no liquids on them, and they are not worn. Now we're going to check our tires. We have 2 tires, so we're going to check our spacing. Making sure we have proper spacing. No trash, garbage, or debris is stuck anywhere in between the tires. We're going to make sure that we have even wear. They're evenly worn. Our tread depth in the back should be more than 2/32 of an inch. Our tire wall. No cracks, damage, rips, tears, or bubbles to our tire wall. Then we're going to check our valve stem, making sure that it's properly secured, no cracks or damage, making sure it's not leaking, and we'll tell them we'll check the tire pressure with the gauge. Our rims should be properly secured, not cracked or damaged, no illegal welds to our rims. All of our lug nuts should be tight and not missing. Between our lug nut and our rim, we should have no rust. The hub seal should be properly secured, not cracked, not damaged, and not leaking. And then on the test truck, there will be a mud flap, so we also need to check our mud flap here. We need to make sure it's properly secured to the frame. No rips, tears, cuts, or holes to our mud flap. And that is the outside of the truck pre-trip inspection.